Welcome to English Literature for Everyone. This is your educator Arushi, and today we will discuss short notes of literature and gender. These short notes are part of Lucknow University MA English Semester 2. In total, there are 8 topics that I will briefly touch so that you will have perfect understanding of these concepts. For more such videos, like and subscribe to my channel. Now let's begin. The first term is patriarchy. Patriarchy comes from the word patriarch that means rule of the father. It is a society where men hold power over women by systematically excluding them from influential roles. While some anthropologists believe that patriarchy started in our society with agriculture and land ownership dispute, some people associate it with long existing role of women as gatherer and men as hunter. However, feminist scholars suggest that patriarchy emerged due to biological difference and was later propagated in our society. Gender roles are additionally artificial concepts that are performed in our society to maintain power imbalance between the two sexes. Also, patriarchy does not only discriminate women, it also marginalizes men and creates a hierarchy within them. For instance, a man who comes from a rural area might be seen less important than a man who comes from a metropolitan city. The way they present themselves will further create a social gap between them, despite their actual qualification. Next term is androgyny. Androgyny is a concept where a person exhibits both masculine and feminine traits. These traits are decided by gender roles. Biologically, androgyny means species that have both male and female sexual organs, like snails and earthworms. This word is applied to social construct of gender roles. In humans, there is no such biological evidence of androgyny. Some examples include women working in a male dominated field like being a bus driver, or a man working in a women dominated field such as becoming a nanny. This is a small concept, so you should add multiple examples in your answer. Now, the next term is womanism. Womanism was coined by Alice Walker in 1981. She was a black feminist who specifically spoke about the issues surrounding African American women. She was an important figure in second wave feminism, where she talks about alienation and exclusion of women of color from mainstream feminism. By including women of different financial background, race, color, religion, and ability, we move towards inclusion. Inclusion can also be stated as intersectionality. Intersectional feminism means inclusion of all type of women and fighting for their problems. You can read more about Alice Walker and add it to your answer. Up next, we have Écriture Feminine. Écriture Feminine was given by Helen Sissox in her seminal work Laugh of Medusa. Basically, this term means a feminine style of writing that has gaps, silences, puns, etc. This type of writing is inconsistent and eccentric as it represents the voice of suppressed women who tell their stories through a borrowed language. Helen considers modern language to be male centric as it is fixed and direct. As per this work, language is very important in understanding oneself. An example of eccentric feminine is stream of consciousness style of writing, where the author uses multiple monologues and includes the thought of a character. You can read work of Virginia Woolf to understand what stream of consciousness is. Helen also states that a baby who has not learned the language often babbles and communicates in Écriture Feminine. Up next, we have gynocriticism. This term was coined by Elaine Showalter in her work Towards a Feminist Poetics. So, a gyno text is a text which could be an essay, poem, or drama written by women. Gynocriticism is when a female critic or a reader reads a work written by women. In gynocriticism, focus is on depiction of women and their experiences. Critics study how accurately they are represented in a text. Showalter states that since experiences of women are different from men, their works should also be read and critiqued differently. You can read about Showalter and add some of her other theories like feminine, female, and feminist in your answer. Up next, we have ecofeminism. Ecofeminism comes from two words, ecology and feminism. Basically, it talks about how patriarchy has oppressed and exploited both women and nature. It further states that women have closer relationship with nature due to their assigned gender roles. For example, many nurturing gender roles are often associated with women, like taking care of babies, cooking food for family, etc. While stereotypical male gender roles like woodworking or hunting is often exploitative in nature. Ecofeminism advocates for a world that respects nature and treats all species, including women, equally. Vandana Shiva is a famous Indian ecofeminist. You can talk about her contribution in your answer. Let's discuss types of feminism. While there are many categories, these are some of the fundamental branches of feminism. At first, we have radical feminism. It is considered to be the most extreme form of feminism. Radical feminism talks about dismantling patriarchy, and in order to do so, it states that the institution of marriage and family should be changed or eliminated to ensure complete freedom. Likewise, they also advocate for ending violence and prostitution of women, stating that all of these things encourage objectification of women. Some famous radical feminists are Kate Millett, Germanic Greer, and Mary Daly. Next, we have Marxist and Socialist feminism. This branch was started by Eleanor Marx, who was daughter of Karl Marx, the founder of Marxism. Here, Marxist feminism suggests that the capitalism is the root cause of patriarchy, as women's oppression provide free labor to men. Let's understand this with an example. If a man makes 20,000 rupees in his job and lives alone, he has to do all the household work by himself while also working in his company. Over time, he will realize that his salary and the working condition are not sustainable in the long run. So he might try to quit his job or change his job for better opportunities. Now imagine this particular worker gets married. Now all the household chores that he had to do before n- or he had to hire someone to do before is now done by his wife for free. Eventually, they might have kids. Now, with the overwhelming responsibility to feed his wife and kids, he cannot quit his job or take a break. He will continue to work despite low salary or harmful working condition. This is what Marxist feminism talks about. Other feminists of socialism include Claudia Jones and Angela Davis. Up next, we have liberal feminism. Liberal means someone who is tolerant of others' opinion. So, liberal feminism advocates for a society that gives women bodily and political freedom. It started in 18th century when women advocated for their right to vote and inheritance. Some scholars who are associated with this are J.S. Mill and Mary Wollstonecraft. You can read about their works and talk about their views to extend your answer. Lastly, we have post-colonial feminism. Now, post-colonial studies is about the experiences of people who have faced colonialism or are facing the aftermath of colonialism. It talks about how racism and segregation destroyed and devalued our culture. Now, post-colonial feminists talk about experiences of women who are either in third world countries or they have migrated from third world countries to first world countries like USA, UK, or France. When these women come to other countries, they are discriminated based on their race as well as their gender. So there is a dual oppression. Some of the important feminists in this branch are Gayatri Spivak, Gloria Jeans-Watkin, and Audre Lorde. You can read about them for more content. Lastly, we have sex and gender. Let's understand the basic definition of both of these terms. So, sex is a biological difference between men and women, while gender is a sociological difference between men and women. Okay, Sex is different reproductive organs, XY and XX chromosomes. Meanwhile, gender would be a man wearing pants while a woman wearing skirts. Gender can also be associated to different objects like toys, airplane for boys and dolls for girls, or colors like blue for boys and pink for girls. Gender roles also differ in different culture. Like in Scotland, they have kilt. It is a skirt that is made for men and it is part of Irish history. So, there, if a man wears kilt, they will not be mocked or shamed. So, gender roles vary with countries. Judith Butler is an important figure when it comes to sex and gender. She gave a theory of gender performativity where she explains that the gender is essentially ingrained in our society through repetition. Generations follow gender roles and it is passed down to us. If someone goes against the gender roles, they will be mocked and marginalized in our society. With this, we come to an end of our class. If you want me to cover more such videos or make content based on your university or college syllabus, please let me know in the comment section below. Like and share this video and subscribe to my channel for more such content. Thank you.